I must ask the question, who watches the Watchers?
I think that would be the Oath of the Watchers, Paladin subclass from Tasha's Cauldron of Everything. It's the only subclass we haven't covered yet. So let's cover it.
I'm Nerdarchy Ted.
And I'm Nerdarchy Dave. Welcome to Nerdarchy, for nerds, by nerds.
I guess it's time to fulfill our oath to our Watchers in this video. Alright, so today I guess we're, going to jump back into Tasha's Cauldron of Everything. We're going to go over another Paladin subclass. Obviously, this one we're talking about Oath of the Watchers.
I haven't actually seen this one in play yet. Like, I haven't played it. I haven't had any of the other players in the games I'm playing in play it. Although, like, thematically, it kind of sounds cool. And it also reminds me of, like, that one organization from the Highlander series.
The Watchers.
The Watchers, yeah. Maybe it's just the name, but, it kind of seems like the same, even if they're a little misguided.
It was the first thing that came to my mind as well.
And also, like, if you want Paladin Secret Police, like, I think this comes to my mind as well.
Yeah, so let's see, where else can they get some more information if they're interested in Oath of the Watchers?
Well, over on nerdarchy.com, we have an article called Observe, Report, and Smite. Basically, the Oath of Watchers, Paladin subclass for 5e D&D. You can go check it out. We'll drop a link there if you want another take on it and more information. With that, let's jump in there.
So Oath of the Watchers, we got another little quip from Tasha. These paladins aren't all what I expected. Worse, they send home your party's best guests. So, little comic, little line there.
That one was kind of lacking for Tasha. Tasha, I'm very disappointed in you.
Well, I mean, it's got some fun there. You just kind of have to read into it a little bit.
The Oath of the Watchers bind paladins to protect mortal realms from the predations of extraplanar creatures, many of which can lay waste to mortal soldiers. Thus, the Watchers hone their minds, spirits, and bodies to be the ultimate weapons against such threats. Paladins who follow the Watchers' oath are ever vigilant in spotting the influence of extraplanar forces, often establishing a network of spies and informants to gather information on suspected cults. To a Watcher, keeping a healthy suspicion and awareness about one's surrounding is as natural as wearing armor in battle.
I mean, you read that and it's like, all right, so this is the guy who's like highly suspicious of everybody, of everything.
Inquisitors, witch hunters.
So like definitely geared up for a nice PC there, or some fabulous NPCs for your world.
Yeah, I like these guys better as NPCs than PCs.
But we have the tenets of the Watchers. First up, vigilance. The threats you face are cunning, powerful, and subversive. Be ever alert for their corruption.
Loyalty. Never accept gifts or favors from fiends or those who truck with them. Stay true to your order, your comrades, and your duty.
Discipline. You are the shield against the endless terrors that lie beyond the stars. Your blade must be forever sharp and your mind keen to survive what lies beyond.
So, there's not going to be any problems with, a Watcher in your party and say, I don't know, a Tiefling or Warlock at all.
No, none whatsoever. Before we get into the subclass and dive deep into those abilities and our thoughts therein, if you like these videos and you'd like to help us keep making more, why not head over to Patreon and support us over there?
As a monthly reward, you'll receive 5e content for players and DMs alike. You're going to get subclasses, spells, feats, magic items, poisons, drop-in encounters, print and play cards, maps from our games, a chance to game with Nerdarchy, and more.
All right, so at third level, when you get the subclass, you're going to get access to spells. And like other Paladin subclasses, you're going to get these spells. They're automatically on your list. They're automatically prepared. They don't count against the things for you, which I always love when they do this stuff. So at third level, you're going to get Alarm and Detect Magic.
5th level, Moonbeam, See Invisibility.
9th level, Counter Spell and Non-Detection.
13th level, Aura of Purity, Banishment.
17th level, Hold Monster and Scrying.
I was going to say I'm totally not excited about this list of spells.
Really?
You know what I do like about this list of spells, though? These are spells that I feel like players don't prepare. A good portion of them. So, obviously Detect Magic, they do. Moonbeam, I've seen. Counterspell, obviously, and Banishment as well. But a bunch of other ones, not as often. So what's cool about those spells when they're just on your list and you don't have a choice is then, like, when the situations come up, you're like, oh, I have something for that.
All right, so detect magic. Depending upon the style of game that you run, I always find this is useful. And while at low levels you might be wanting to use those for smites, when you get higher up, those low level spell slots aren't quite as useful. But so now you can use it and help save those wizard spell slots for your party. See Invisibility, Moonbeam, both kind of fall into very clutch situations. Very useful in my opinion. Counterspell, thumbs up, getting that on a paladin spell list is fabulous. Non-detection, don't really care all that much about it, but it is a non-concentration spell, so if you really need to worry about it, it's good. Banishment, fabulous spell, especially for a anti-planar, warrior. It's like, oh, you're not from here? Gone. And hold monster, I mean, come on. That's one of those paralysis positions, isn't it? Like,
yeah.
Crit. Oh, wait a second.
Smite.
Crit smite. Yeah.
That is a great combination. I mean, you don't get it till your 17th level, so.
Whatever. I mean, focus on, making your strength and your charisma super high. You hold them, you smite them, they gone.
That'll do it every time. So next up, we have Channel Divinity. You gain the following Channel Divinity options. Watcher's Will. You can use your Channel Divinity to invest your presence with a warding power of your faith. As an action, you can choose a number of creatures you can see within 30 feet of you, up to a number equal to your charisma modifier, minimum 1 creature. For 1 minute, you and the chosen creatures have advantage on intelligence, wisdom, and charisma saving throws. You're all gnomes.
You also get Abjure the Extra Planar. You can use your Channel Divinity to castigate unworldly beings. As an action, you present your holy symbol, and each aberration, celestial, elemental, fey, or fiend within 30 feet of you that can hear you must make a wisdom saving throw. On a failed save, the creature is turned for 1 minute until it takes damage. A turned creature must spend its turn trying to move as far away from you as it can, and it can't willingly end its move in a space within 30 feet of you. For its action, it can only use the dash action or try to escape from an effect that prevents it from moving. If there's nowhere to move, the creature can take the dodge action. So, that's more powerful than a typical turn, I think. And you get it towards a lot of these extra planar creatures. Now, yeah, I think a lot of them might have some pretty decent wisdom saves, but, still useful.
Yeah, I mean, well, there are some that have decent wisdom saves, but there are those that don't, because like you said, it's a whole swath of creatures. And, even if only some of them pass or fail their saves, you're going to get them out of the combat so that you can kind of essentially ignore them for a minute and focus on the other creatures. But I think of these two, I really like the Watcher's Will. Like if you're fighting creatures that are going to make you make a lot of saving throws using your mentals, you and your whole party having advantages on those saves is going to be super useful.
I like them both. Watcher's Will is definitely powerful. But, we're talking about Paladins, so they're only going to get, 1 Channel Divinity, but it's still pretty nice to be able to have those options.
So we have our 7th level, Aura of the Sentinel. You emit an aura of alertness while you aren't incapacitated. When you and any creature of your choice within 10 feet of you roll initiative, you all gain a bonus to initiative equal to the proficiency bonus. At 18th level, this range of this aura increases to 30 feet. Super sweet. I mean, you're getting it at 7th level. Maybe your next levels should be maybe embarred to get that jack of all trades, so you can then add half your proficiency bonus.
Yeah, I mean that is a super sweet combo. But I mean, everybody getting your proficiency bonus that is close enough with you. That pretty much means all right, you want to be watchful. Everybody wait around the paladin until combat starts, and then bam.
Oh, you know what? It is proficiency bonus. I was, for some reason, thinking it was going to be, even though I'm the one that just read it, was thinking it was going to be your charisma, because most of those 7th level abilities are based off of that.
Right.
Not your proficiency bonus. So this means, too, if you stop at 7th level in this class, that ability continues getting better.
Indeed it does. So I definitely dig it. It is one of those things that, as you said, you can stop there, and that benefit still continues to go up.
Also means that my idea of combining it with Bard probably would not work,
because you're already getting it. You're already adding it. So.
Yeah.
Vigilant Rebuke. 15th level, you learn how to chastise anyone who dares wield beguilements against you and your wards. Whenever you or a creature you can see within 30 feet of you succeeds on an intelligence, wisdom, or charisma saving throw, you can use your reaction to deal 2d8 plus your charisma modifier in force damage to the creature that forced the saving throw.
This is a great ability because it stacks right with your channel Divinity. You don't need it, but it ups your chances of being able to use this every round.
Yeah, I mean, just, you succeed on a saving throw, bam, take some force damage.
All right, so that brings us to our 20th level capstone ability, Mortal Bulwark. And basically, it takes a bonus action to activate it, and it will last for 1 minute. You gain True Sight with a range of 120 feet. You have advantage on attack rolls against aberrations, celestials, elementals, fays, and fiends. When you hit a creature with an attack roll and deal damage to it, you can also force it to make a charisma saving throw against your spell save DC. On a failed save, the creature is magically banished to native plane of existence. If it's currently not there, on a successful save, the creature can't be banished by this feature for 24 hours. And also, it's a once per long rest ability. But the caveat is, if you got a 5th level spell slot, you can do it again.
So the thing that I like about this is, all right, you get advantage on all of these things. It's not like you have to select one when you do it. You get advantage on everything. And if you're fighting a horde of things from another plane of existence, you can just keep swinging every single hit. You can be like, are you native? Make a saving throw. Are you native to here? Make a saving throw. And all of these things, if they fail their saving throw, they're just poofed back to where they'd come from. As an epic, 20th level ability, I think this is just amazing to just wade through a horde of things
and pop them.
And just pop them. It doesn't matter how much damage you do to them. You just send them away. I absolutely love it. I think that's the most exciting thing to me about this particular, subclass. There's a lot of great stuff that's here. But I think in order to play this particular subclass, it's really got to be, we're playing an extra planar game. Because if you don't have those things that can have the need for true sight, banishment, non-detection, scrying, this paladin is going to fall short because those abilities really are tied to that.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty wide, though. I mean, we're looking at, 5 different monster types. Mm-hmm. So, chances are during the campaign, you're going to be encountering some of them. True Sight is a great ability, whether you're in combat or even your social pillar or your exploration pillar, mm-hmm. where, you're at a party or a ball, and you're something doesn't quite feel right here. You pop this ability, True Sight, for a minute to check things out. Or, there's maybe some kind of puzzle or something you're trying to figure out. Boom, True Sight to see if there's anything that's amiss that you can't detect. Again, because we have the ability to do it again if we have a 5th level spell slot, if you really needed it. So I feel like this is an ability that actually works in all 3 pillars. Situational, but, very useful from the DM side. It's very nice that you only need to use one of your legendary resistances to shut this shit down on your BBEG, right? So, okay, as the paladin, you're just going to hit it. It's just an action. It doesn't really take a resource from you. Mm-hmm. But it's also not going to work on the big bad.
Right.
Until tomorrow, you can try again.
Which he'll get his legendary resistances back. So.
Yeah.
That is nice. But it does have that caveat of having that as a thing of okay, well, if it fails its save, you can set things up to try and weed out, that resource of legendary resistances. So I dig this. I think there's a lot of theme, a lot of great stuff that's here. I'm just looking to see some feedback from somebody who's actually had a chance to play one.
Yeah, mechanically, what I'm seeing, I really like, right? The Paladin by itself is a really super strong class anyway.
Yes.
But then, thematically, yes, I like it. But also, I could definitely see this one, causing players in your game to butt heads. Thematically, this one is set up to not like certain things in the game. Any creatures that are from other planes, I could see, someone playing this paladin being bigoted against. Someone playing a warlock where it literally says those that truck with beings, fiends and beings from elsewhere aren't to be trusted, right?
I mean, your class abilities even are directed towards Celestials as well. So, like, do you have issues with, like, Celestial Warlocks? Do you have issues with Clerics? Like, Sorcerers, they can gain abilities from bloodlines. So there is definitely the potential for animosity, depending upon how you go ahead and play this. So definitely bring this up with your group as to not only the class you want to play, but how you are planning to play it, so that you aren't going to create these kind of things. Nerdarchy is always a big proponent of Session Zero, and this is the kind of class that you want to share. Hey, this is the direction I'm leaning because it's so good.
Yeah, I mean, and then like maybe you have a back and forth with any players and the GM. Like if there's going to be contention, which you can do contention in your game, but you want to do it in a way that it doesn't spill over from play at the table to the players, right? Where they're catching feelings over it. So, having a discussion and working out the details, how that contention's going to shape and unfold at the table might be a worthy pursuit.
I think it's a great thing to do, to have like, a conversation of like, all right, Dave, let's build our characters together. I'm going to play, this Oath of Watchers. Maybe you want to play, that classic Tiefling Warlock. And throughout the course of the game, we're going to start off distrusting each other. You don't like me because I'm, super, goody two-shoes, and, well, clearly my class is programmed to not like you.
Yeah.
But over the course of the game, how can we look for these situations to early on be like, haha, what are you doing? And then get into the, oh crap, how can your character save mine? And how can we build these moments of trust and have growth? Every game that plays for a long time, the characters should have some kind of moment where there's an aha or a change, and you build connections, because that's what happens in the real life. So why shouldn't it happen in the game as well?
Yeah, I don't see this as being like a goody two-shoes paladin. This is the witch hunter. This is the Inquisitor Paladin.
Well, all right,
I feel like this Paladin is, like, of all of them, like, this one is the one that's going to be, like, really serious and might even play dirty in how they do things.
So,
torture is not off the table.
Falling more in that, true neutral and going in every which direction when needed.
Well, maybe. I mean, I don't even think alignment matters so much. Is like, that's the weird thing about alignment, right? It's all about perception and how you perceive things. Can you torture people if you're lawful good? Well, does your order say it's okay? Are fiends really people? Good people can justify horrendous things, and then begs to ask the question, are they really good? But, those are all things you can let us know about in the comments. What do you think? How would you handle it? What alignment would Oath of the Watchers be? How dark would you play it? Would you have problems, or have you had problems with other characters at the table because maybe you look at them and they are the bad guys?
While you're doing that, don't forget to do all those things to make the YouTube happy. Go ahead and like, share, subscribe, even go ahead and click on that little notification bell, because you don't want to miss a single video.
Quick reminder, every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, we drop a new video over here. So come back to the channel, check it out. Can't wait till then. No problem. We got you covered. Up here, you can check out the Oath of Glory subclass for Paladin from Tasha's Cauldron of Everything.
So until next time, stay nerdy.